To grow sweet potatoes, you've got to have your slips, and there's lots of ways to do it. This has just been by far the easiest. Hey guys, I thought I would bring you guys along on this fast little project. This is one of my flower planters. It's a wicking planter. It's a flower pot out here on my porch. And last year Monty made it into a wicking planter for me. So what I've done, what's in here, I'm very late on planting my sweet potatoes. I finally got the raised bed where I'm going to put them. I finally got that ready. So I need to dig up these slips. So let's back up for a second. In this planter, several months ago, I started my sweet potato slips. The way I do it is I have found, I've tried different methods in the past, but the best way I find is just planting your sweet potato. The sweet potatoes, that whether they're seed sweet potatoes or even store-bought ones. If they've got little eyes or anything, put those down. I don't know if you can actually see in here, but there's part of the sweet potato that's left above ground. I don't know that that really matters, but I have several sweet potatoes in here in this planter. And so they've been growing for several months. And what I'll do is I come in. So with sweet potatoes, you know that you can't grow a sweet potato from a sweet potato. You have to grow the slips and let them root. Some people do it in water and with toothpicks or whatever. I don't have good luck with that. And this is so easy. And that way it's out here. So as soon as it warmed up and it got to the 50 degrees at night and all that stuff in my zone, I brought them out and stuck them in. And that's when I planted them. But they get the rainwater, they get the sun, the wind, the storms, everything. So they're pretty hardy. But anyway, now they're ready to go over. I finally got that bed ready for them. How I do this is, so let's say I've got several slips here. And they're probably all going to come off of this one or several. Okay, here's a big clump right here. And I don't know if you can see. I'm pulling that root up very gently. And this is a long root. And they've been in here for too long, so we could have little sweet potatoes attached to these roots. I don't know. So what I'm going to do, so let's see, that one doesn't have a root, so I'm gonna break this one off and see that root coming off of it. And then I'm gonna throw my weeds, or my stuff here in the floor. I'm going to take off most of these leaves so this tiny root doesn't have to try to support this big old, slip. And I'm just going to leave a few. And we even have little baby leaves up there. So basically that is ready to go in the ground. But I brought out a little quart pitcher. So I don't want them drying out because it is hot out here and it's sunny right in this location. So here's another one. Oh my, this whole run is coming up. So we'll see. Okay, so you can see that whole root. So what I want to do is I want this one. So I'm just going to kind of detach it right there. And I will be able to plant that. And then I'll clip the extras. So here I've got two. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut this one in half. And now this big one, of course, we're going to cut all these off. I don't need those. That's just too many for it starting out. And so it's got these few roots, and it should do just fine with that. So you can see that I am just sticking them in this little pot of water. So I am trying be gentle. Literally, I think some of these might be putting on. Let me just get my hands in here. That'll help. I may find baby sweet potatoes down here. I do. Oops. I told you I was late at getting these planted. Okay, look. I'm going to plant it, though. Oh, and it's attached to this one. Is that wild? We'll see. I'm going to plant it. That root ought to support that. I have a trellis, arched trellis where I'm putting them. Oh, by the way, these are edible. Your sweet potato slips. You can clean them, put them in a salad. That's what I should be setting them aside. But they're probably going to wilt pretty quick out here. Okay. What was I saying? We'll wrap around. I'll think of it in a minute. Oh, I have a trellis that I put these on. And it was so overgrown last year with the grass. We have Bermuda out here. I have Bermuda in places that I want it, but mostly in places I don't want it. So I struggled. They took over my raised bed. So around our cellar, I'll show you in a little bit, around our storm cellar we have made a raised bed all the way around it. So I've planted in that. I've done that for years. Just always used the area around my cellar as a raised bed. So anyway, the grasses and the weeds took over so bad. Yep, another start of I may have more sweet potatoes come up in this planter. Anyway, so it's taken me till now to get my raised bed around my cellar bed is what I call it, to get that kind of ready and up and going. And okay, now here's one that's still attached. I don't know if you can see this. This one is still attached to the actual potato. So where they're attached at, hopefully you can see this. I'm going to break that off right where it was attached. And this part has a tiny little leaf. Hopefully it should send up more, shoots pretty quick. I'm going to break that. If it's got a leaf on it, I am using it. Doesn't mean that it's actually going to grow, but I'm going to try. And we'll see about this one. I don't know if I might just put it like that. So I'm very late, really behind on getting my garden done. I think I mentioned in one of my gardens, one of my videos, my garden is minimal this year because of a lot of different reasons. See, they grow like this, your slips. And technically, I could cut that one off and I might do that just because I might need an extra slip or two. I don't have a lot of space. And I actually have another planter this size right down here that's got starts in it. I didn't know if they would, I didn't know putting them out early in the planters if I would lose them, because I thought I lost them at one point too. I thought I lost those too. But, so anyway, boy, I'm undecided on some of these tinies. I shouldn't be. Just do it. Get them in. What lives, lives. That's the original potato that I planted. It's not in too bad a shape, and it'd probably send me some more roots if I wanted. I ought to just keep it in here and let it keep doing its thing, and go ahead and put my I want my flowers in here. I bought some flowers because a flower pot, because it's like, well, I'm going to be pulling those out soon, and it's like week after week I just keep looking up, and it's like, oh my gosh, I haven't done them yet. I'm trying to keep my zinnias that I bought over there. I should have just planted those by seed, but I don't know where this spring went in terms of March and April. I'm not doing a very good job of talking and working. And I think I only had that was only 2 potatoes in here, so look how many slips I got. And I still got to get this one undug. I'm sure I have potatoes, little babies down there. They're so easy to break when they're long and skinny like that. Come on, babies. Yeah, see, I broke it. I'm not, okay, it's in the shadow. There we go. I broke it, but that's okay. And I'll split this one when I'm putting it in the ground. It was putting on. So they're babies at this point, and they're going to be fine because the one thing about it, we're in Oklahoma, so, I mean, I could have till, these things could grow till November. Never know what our weather's actually going to be. So it's better to do it and just risk it being too late. Because the worst thing that can happen is, okay, well, it didn't, you know, it's too late. You messed up. Go ahead and plant it because you might end up being just fine and having plenty of potatoes grow. Even if they're small, I'm okay with that. Even though, I mean, what can hurt? They die. It's better than not planting them. You still didn't have them. So, it's better. Oh, my leg's asleep. Better to go ahead and just try. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you wait for everything, conditions and time and everything to be perfect, you're probably not going to have a garden. And you never know the weather. Now, I've got to move over to, I'm going to go ahead and see how many I have because I'm doing my cattle panel trellis. I'm going to try to train them to grow up. And so I'm planting them at the base, and so I can probably get, I don't know, 10, 12 on either side, on both sides. So I'll see how many I have, and then I'm going to put my zinnias, plant them in here real quick. I'm going to head over there. Oh, by the way, I wouldn't have had to move these slips. I could just let them grow, and I can harvest them in the fall. So absolutely, leave them in a bucket. If you want, wicking bucket, regular bucket, 5-gallon bucket, just if you want it big enough where you can get a little bit of a harvest. I don't think a 5-gallon bucket would give you too many. But I didn't have to do this. I could have left them. I just want to put my flowers in this pot, and I'm hoping to spread it out and get a much bigger harvest. When they're in containers like this, I don't think you get the harvest you could if they were in ground. When I was researching on how I wanted to grow the sweet potatoes, I'm by far sold on the raised bed method. So in ground is fine, but here in Oklahoma we have red dirt, red clay, hard, and no matter how hard I tried to amend the soil at different times in the past, it was just never good enough. So I have found that with raised beds, when you can control the mixture that you build them with, works much better for me. Different parts of the country is better than others, and so just wanted to also add that in. They could have absolutely stayed in this pot, no problem. I haven't had the greatest luck at storing them long term to get through the whole winter. I still got to figure that one out. And if anybody's got some great ideas, let me know. Put them in the comments. I have a storm cellar, and I use that for other things in storage. And so my storm cellar, which they're concrete, you know, I try to store like some potatoes and onions and garlic and things like that down there, but I've still had a problem with them not exactly keeping. So definitely still on a major learning curve on that one, on storing your root veggies, you know, that you grow. So would love more ideas. I've tried putting them in our utility room or a dark closet in wire shelving last year, and it lasted pretty well, you know, quite a long time. It just still didn't make it through the winter. So trying again. I will always keep trying and planting them because I love them, but I just have still so much to learn. Anyway, okay guys, try again. They're gonna wilt, but they're gonna bounce back. Oh, and by the way, this right here through the middle, I've got landscape fabric on both sides, folded in half and doubled. And that's what I'm burning and putting holes in. But through here, the center, I'm trying something new, and I've put it along my fence line. But this is like visqueen black plastic, and I'll probably come in and put some mulch down. But if anything, I'm hoping to kill the grasses, the weeds, the Bermudas under here. And the water, since I've got it mounded over here on either side for the trellis and for the sweet potatoes, water's going to naturally rain. You know, everything's going to go towards the center. And when I get my mulch in here, I might put little, you know, little pinholes through the plastic just to help it go ahead and, you know, drain on down. But there's going to be plenty of water, moisture under all of this. And I'm just trying to get a handle on the horrible weed situation I've got going on. Anyway, so this year is just, it's just a hot mess. Oh well, onward. So I can probably get 15 on this side. So if I have 30 plants, if they all make it, I'm good with that. Okay, I got all but about 5 right down there that I've got to put in. And then these along this side. And you can tell they are already starting to stand up. So I had to stop because we had weather move in, and we were under another tornado watch. And thankfully it went right to the north of us. So I'm going to put in 5 or 6 more right down there. But you can see the few that I put in, I've got about 25 in so far. And they are standing up, doing good. My visqueen is kind of holding a little bit of water. I'm fine with that. So that front one right there, it should start standing up. It actually is already. The leaves are not wilty. So each one down through there is actually looking much, much better from when I stuck them in the ground a few hours ago. So that is my update. I was hoping to get all that covered over there, but the weather didn't cooperate. We shall continue this in a little while. Hey guys, this is just a quick update. I was showing you when I was doing my sweet potatoes that were in my wicking bucket, my planter on my porch. I wanted to update the slips that I had put in the ground. So here are the slips, and they have stood up so good. Now you can see I've got all these little tiny little weeds, and I'm not sure what they are, but I'm just pulling them up. Here is my slip, and I've got it kind of wrapped around the trellis. You can see it's putting on new leaves. Okay, so, and I do have these little, I'm going to try to keep these all weeded. Here's that one. I did lose, I think, a couple out of the 25 that I put in. So here's this one. Here's this one. I'm not sure what this little weed is. It seems to come up. It's so prevalent over here in this bed. But there's this one. There's that one. There's that one. Now this one is struggling. Let's see. Here it is. It's struggling. Not sure if it'll make it. That leaf is kind of sad, but the stem feels very strong. Matter of fact, when I'm moving it to pull these little weeds, it's staying right there. I need to get in here behind them. And this is my, those are my big, massive, mammoth sunflowers. So, but you can see every one. Goodness gracious. And these little weeds are not going to hurt anything. I can get in here when the roots to my sweet potatoes get a little stronger, a little bigger. But I just wanted to show you after putting them in the other day. And this is the other side. I did notice on this other side, which I had a few real tiny ones that I did lose. Oh, this doggone Bermuda. There's that little one. So you can see they're all doing good. Okay guys, I just wanted to kind of wrap it up, and this is the planting part of my sweet potatoes and how I plant my sweet potatoes and start my slips and all of that, because that's the big thing, is just how do you want to start your slips, because to grow sweet potatoes you've got to have your slips, and there's lots of ways to do it. This has just been by far the easiest, and a few years ago, you know, I've got some holes burned in this landscape fabric right there, and it's because I used that same piece of fabric in a different layout in a different place for my sweet potatoes, and we burned the 3-inch holes in there, and I dug the hole and stuck the slip in there. So I'm just repurposing that. There's a few little weeds right, you know, there. I need to go ahead and pull those and maybe put some duct tape over the holes or something. But I'm just repurposing that. So hopefully this black plastic visqueen stuff will act like a silage tarp and kill the grass and seeds and weeds and all of that. I'm hoping it works like that too, you know, as much as possible. So anyway, I'll kind of bring you along and let you know what it's looking like and how well the vines are behaving, whether I can get them on the trellises or not. So until the next time, and until harvest. So thanks guys, y'all have a great day. Okay.